Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to see you here. My name is Thamar Gindin. Gindin is from home. Eilam is from my children's father. Doctor is from the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. I got my PhD in Iranian linguistics. Yes, there is such a thing. In 2005, supervised by Professor Shaul Shaked, who is one of the leading Iranists in the world today. Iranian linguistics means I know Persian from Ahasuerus to Ahmadinejad, actually before and after too. And if you behave, I'll teach you the accent at the end of the lecture, even though it's not the subject today. The subject today is New Year holidays, and I want to show you my path to finding out that actually it's all about Rosh Hashana. And that's also the name of the lecture today. My late grandfather, Shlomo Harari, always used to say that Purim and Kippurim are the same holiday. He said in Purim, all the Jews dress up like Goyim, and in Kippurim, all the Goyim dress up like Jews and go to the synagogue. He only said it as a joke, because Purim and Kippurim sound the same. But then, when I was a young BA student, the first text we read in Old Persian was Darius' ascension to the throne. You know when was that?
6th century BC.
Yes, what date? The 10th of Tishrei. It was actually the 10th of Bagayadi, but Bagayadi is the exact month as Tishrei, and we'll get back to that when we talk about Purim. Most Jewish holidays, how can we summarize most Jewish holidays?
They
try to kill us, we want, let's eat you, right? It's true for Purim, it's true for Pesach, it's true for Hanukkah. How about Rosh Hashana and the high holidays we're having now? Is someone trying to kill us? Nobody's trying to kill us, but there is a sense of danger in the air. Otherwise, why would you get up in the middle of the night to say slichus, right?
The Book of Judgment is open.
Oh, the Book of Judgment is open. So before the new year, the Book of Judgment is open, the world is in danger, and we have to do something we don't normally do in order to save the world. I found it out through the holiday of Purim and the Nowruz holiday, the Persian New Year, which is very close to Purim. The Persian New Year is the most exact New Year in the world. It's in the exact second of the spring equinox. Spring equinox is the moment where the sun crosses the equator, the day and night are equal, and spring starts. It's a different second every year, and you have to Google it in order to know when to celebrate this year. It's usually between the 20th and the 21st of March. And I was trying to find parallel things between Nowruz, the Persian New Year, and Purim, our New Year. The parallel things I found was, well, it's a new year. There are also parallel things with Pesach, because before Nowruz, you have, funny. You have to clean the house. It's a spring holiday. You eat a lot of eggs, like Pesach, fish, like gefilte fish. You also have to clean your heart, which is what we do before our New Year. But the most important thing I found was that around Nowruz there are also events of girl power. The Scroll of Esther is about girl power, right? And around Nowruz, the Persian New Year, in some cities there's a temporary mayor. A temporary mayor before Nowruz, and in some cities this mayor has to be a woman. There are also other holidays relating to women, because the month before, the last month of the year, the month before Nowruz, is named after a very important goddess. So the Woman's Day of the Zoroastrian calendar is at that time. Another event which I didn't really connect to Purim, but later on I did, was that before the holiday, there's a sort of clown dressed in black, dressed in red, painted in black. He paints his face black, and he goes around and does fun things, plays drums, and makes people happy and laugh. I was wondering what it has to do with anything. Some comparing to Santa Claus, but actually Santa Claus is when? December. Hanukkah. And what happens in January? A new year. Okay. Some comparing to Santa Claus. And I read two different theories about the origins of this person. One is that before the new year, there was a temporary mayor or a temporary king, and it was the most righteous person in town, and he had to make sure that everyone has all their needs for the holiday, that everyone is happy for the holiday. When Islam came to Iran, they had to reduce all the holiday customs to things that would be funny, that would be ridiculous, that would be demeaning in order to keep the holiday. It's not the only thing that underwent this process. So this temporary king became this clown, but he still makes people happy for the holiday. This is one thing, a temporary king. Another theory was that he represents Siovash. Siovash was a prince. He wasn't a real prince because he was the son of the king, but not by the main wife, not by the royal wife. He's a hero of the Hashana. He saves Iran in different ways. In the Hashana, the Iranian Book of Kings, all the heroes save Iran in different ways. And eventually, he's killed by his father, and from his blood, all the grass grows, and he becomes actually a god. He becomes the god of vegetation. So here we have a god that dies. And some compare him to Tammuz. So let's go to Tammuz. When is Tammuz?
Summer.
July.
Around July. What happens in Tammuz? In the month of Tammuz? The days are starting to become shorter, but what happens to nature? It becomes dry. It dies, right. Because Tammuz was a god of fertility. His naughty sister, Inanna, went to the underworld. And in order to save her, he had to commit to go to the underworld every year for 3 months. So in the month of Tammuz, he goes to the underworld. What does Ezekiel see in the temple? In his vision? Nashim mevakot et Tammuz, the women crying for Tammuz, because at this point, he goes to the underworld, and the women cry for him. After 3 months in the underworld, he comes up again, he marries his sister, Inanna. There's a festival with a lot of things we don't normally do, like sex between the god and the goddess in the middle of the street. And it's Tishrei, and the rains start. If we're talking about Tishrei, the meaning of the month Tishrei. The meaning of the month names in the Hebrew calendar, Tishrei means beginning. The names of the month come from Akkadian, and the word in Akkadian is beginning, Tishritu. It's from the same Hebrew root as Hashra'ah. Hashra'ah is the power that allows us to start things. The name of the month after Tishrei is Mar Cheshvan. In Hebrew, or at least that's what they told us in kindergarten and school, Mar Cheshvan. Cheshvan is called Mar, bitter. Why is Cheshvan bitter? Because there are no holidays. And the Ethiopian community asked to change the name of the month because they do have a holiday in Cheshvan. So it's not bitter anymore. Mr. Cheshvan is in kindergarten. Then in school it's bitter because there's no water. Then when you're in high school, if you study... No holidays. Right? Then when you're in high school, if you take advanced Bible, you learn that ma is a singular word, is a hapax legomenon, a singular word in the Bible, which means a drop of water. And what happens in Cheshvan?
Rainstorm.
Rain starts. All this is called folks etymology. Folks etymology is the origin of words, and folks etymology is what people think about the origin of the world, which is usually wrong. If it's called folk etymology, it's wrong. Okay? One of the examples of folk etymology is old-timers disease. You know old-timers disease? No. You forgot. And it's folk etymology based on meta-analysis. Meta-analysis means an analysis in the wrong place, in a different place. Because actually, the meaning of the origin of Mal Cheshvan was Warah Sham. Now, you all speak the Semitic language, so I can play with Semitic languages. Do you know a little bit of Arabic? You know Arabic, I know. How do you say Hebrew Yeled is Arabic? Wala. So, Warah would be parallel to Hebrew Yerach. Right. Warah Shamu is what month? The 8th month. But we just said that Tishrei is the beginning. So what's going on here?
Nisan is the beginning.
Nisan is the beginning. But, so why is Tishrei named the beginning? Right. And what does the Mishnah say about New Year's?
Four.
There are 4 of them. When are they?
First of
Elul, first of Tishrei.
Shavuot and Sukkot. Shavuot, Sukkot, Pesach, and Rosh Hashana are judgment days. And New Year's are also Tu B'Shvat and the 1st of Elul. Right? So we have judgment days which are conveniently located. Pesach is around Nisan. That's the spring New Year, the spring equinox. Tishrei is September, which is the autumn equinox. How about Shavuot?
Summer solstice.
Right, it's around the summer solstice. And Hanukkah? Winter solstice. So whenever the seasons change, when there's either an equinox or a solstice, we have a new year, and we have holidays that are scary. The world is in danger. And the king or the god have to die in order for everything to become right again.